Today is a good day. Today is a good day. 2-0 for the week. Very good day today. One of my best days ever, probably. One of my best days to recognize poor price action. I think ever, which is incredible. I am very proud of myself for this. So let's get into the trade and then I'll let you guys know what happened. We took this short on ES right here. First, let's get into the new challenge account. We're absolutely cooking. We're up over basically 50% of the account already, so like 1.5x the account. So let me get the camera higher up so that you guys can actually see this. So you can see, let's see, wait for this to focus. Yeah, so you can see we're at 156. We got a $37 P&L today. Super good. Ended up getting trailed out at this point, as you can see. And yeah, I mean, this is a really solid day today. I passed two Lucid Flex accounts after taking a little bit to pass them, but it finally happened, so I'm very proud for that. So now we're going to be trading on the funded accounts. Gotta take nothing but good trades, no more bullshit. So let's get into it today. Today was actually bullish, so let's go take a look at NQ before anything. So today I was very much bullish. We had I guess I have to put this anyway. We had ES completely in versus 4-hour gap right here. We're seeing bullish price action. We're seeing very clear highs. We have all-time highs very close. I see no reason for us to believe that we will continue, that we will flip lower, right? So on NQ, the one thing is we did have this bearish SMT from this high right here, from this high right here, which could have led me to believe that we wanted to move lower and rebalance potentially into this 4-hour and then continue higher. Now that we're continuing to dump, I'm surprised, to be honest with you. And I wish I would have taken my trade on NQ on the live account because this is going to continue lower, and I could have extended my take profits a little bit more. Could have probably made like over like $60 instead of 30, but it's all right. $30 is still very good value for the account size. Anyway, so what I wanted to see is we have this 4-hour gap right here. We have this large 4-hour gap. I wanted to see us manipulate all of this trendline liquidity and then move higher into this the PM high or the PM. Why is this PML? It should be PMH. To the PM highs here and up into this hourly gap fill to see us, do the same thing that ES did, just completely disregard this 4-hour gap right here all the way up there. Same thing on ES. I wanted us to go down to this 4-hour gap, which also seemed like a much better point to go into because NQ was a little bit further, and then see some bounces up from there. So scaling down into the 5-minute now. The reason why I was so hesitant, and a lot of people took a loss here, the reason why I was so hesitant on taking this long that a lot of people took, which is inverse value gaps, is, well, first of all, I realized that inverse value gaps are not cooking as much as they usually have, and I really don't like how aggressive those entries are, which saved me today. I was about to enter a long on ES actually because we had closer draws, and I was thinking because we were also reacting off this hourly gap, I was thinking that we were going to continue higher. However, what ends up happening is let's go to the lower time frame here. Let's go to the 1 minute because this is where it happened. We end up making a pretty solid V-shaped reversal, right? And I'm like, okay, that's fine. We have an SMT with some of these lows, like this low and this low right here. I want to see the following. I want to see us inverse this gap, make this retrace, and this is perfect. We formed this 1 minute gap right here. This is like my favorite pattern. I'm going to make a video about this because this is one of my favorite patterns of all time. This right here is, I would call either M or reverse M pattern, where you basically form the following pattern. So this usually comes when you take a low and you want to react and you want to see a reversal. You go down and then you form a move up where a lot of people would enter, but I want to see the M being formed and then move higher. So I would enter off of here, not down here, not here. I would enter if we had formed a candle that would have closed up into here, because that confirms your bullish move. That confirms it. So when I saw on ES that, yes, perfect, we're respecting this 1 minute. The second I saw us close below all of these and make another lower low with such a strong closure and so much momentum, I entered. I actually entered lower. I couldn't get the entry up here, but I entered over here. Still a good entry on ES. I could have also entered on NQ. The reason why I entered on ES is because I saw a very clear break-even point. NQ was already all the way down into the 4-hour gap. So I didn't really see where I could have gone break even. And that's one of the most important things in my trading, because without a break even, how are you supposed to be okay, like mentally good with your trade? The reason I went break even at this hourly push low is because if we wanted to go lower, we should not be seeing any reaction off of this 4-hour gap right here. Once we tap into the middle point, and I choose to extend it all the way down because this seemed like way too close to go break even. I didn't want to see us move a single inch up, because then that would mean that NQ, which is over here, is reacting off of the higher 4-hour fair value gap, and we could potentially see some moves up. That's why I went break even at that point. My original take profit was just here, the beginning of this 4-hour gap for a 1 to 2. I extended my take profit all the way down here on the live account. On the evals, I didn't because I didn't have to. Very happy with this trade. I ended up trailing in stops. The classic trail stop method. So the reason why I trailed so aggressively this time, and I remember I talked about not trailing again, is because NQ came so much lower. And this is, again, why I wish I would have taken the trade on NQ. It just happened so fast, and NQ was moving so much faster that I didn't feel like getting an entry down here was worth it. The trade on NQ would have been this. Yeah, this is good, like right there. Take profit 1 would have been the middle of the gap, and then take profit 2 would have been all the way at the bottom. Both would have been hit, and then some maybe. But it just didn't convince me enough. I thought ES had much more room to go because it was technically the lagging asset. That's why I decided to take ES. We are very close to our take profit. Obviously, we didn't end up taking the middle of the gap, which is completely fine. And, it is what it is. But then I started trailing my stops. So obviously this lower high, then this lower high. Then I got lucky. I was off my phone. I would have trailed to this lower high, but then I trailed to this lower high. And then I trailed to this lower high, and then I trailed to this lower high, where, as you can see, I trailed my stops here, and I get stopped out at this point. So with all of these, this is ends up being, let me see the RR on this, ends up being, I did take partials at the take profit, or first take profit, so it's fine. Ends up being a 1 to 2.45, very solid trade. As much as I wish I would have held, because we're going to continue lower, it looks like. No part of me believed that, if we wanted to continue lower to take profit, I didn't think we needed to see this move up. But yeah, super solid day, feeling super confident about my strategy. I'm seeing a lot of continuation trades happen. The reason behind me being iffy about the longs too is because look at this chop right here. I feel like if we had more momentum, same thing happened on NQ. Why are we not flipping once we take out all of these prominent lows? Why are we coming all the way down into here? Why is that the case? We should be flipping around this area. We should be respecting this hourly gap that we have, or this 4-hour gap that we have right here. We should not be making moves lower. 10 a.m. opened all the way down here. Look at this, 10 a.m. opened all the way down here. So obviously, yeah, that was not the right trade to take. That's what stopped me from longs. If I would have seen a candle, I'll make a rectangle so you guys can see, it makes more sense. If I would have seen a green candle close like this up into here, I would have entered this trade, stops below this. Why? Because we made a high, we made a high, right? We didn't make a higher high. The higher high is over here. Then we make a low. Then we technically make a higher low, but this high right here, this single candle right here, let me get rid of the square, is what determined whether we were going to go up or down. If this candle right here closed all the way up here and made a higher high, that's a market structure shift. I'm in longs. I don't care if I lose a trade. I'm 100% taking it. So that's why I ended up taking shorts. And as you can see, we see a reversal M pattern. One of my favorite patterns. We see us move lower, or sorry, not this way. That would be for the high. We see us in a downtrend, move up, move down, move up, and move right back down. That's the M pattern that I love. That's the M pattern that literally is going to make me millions. So that's the one you should be focusing on. I used to trade inverse value gaps, and this looks like a really good setup. It was a 2-minute inverse value gap too. So since we didn't get the confirmation for it, and the way that I like to see it, I was able to save myself. So yeah, really solid start of the week. I want to keep it going. Now I'm going to trade my funders. Obviously, my risk is going to go down a little bit because I want to slowly build them up. And then, we'll compound with everything. If I can catch a big day, that'd be really good. But I'm probably going to start risking. I have 2 accounts. I'm probably going to start risking around $250 or $300 per account. And once I can get that up to at least a solid buffer of $1,500, then, only then, maybe I'll be risking $500 and then some again over that. I really want to take a payout, buy some more accounts, get my money up. So this will be a really good start, the best start of the month that I could have asked for, and let's keep it going. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. Really, really solid day again, and good things are coming.